Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly navigate life's toughest challenges, while others crumble under pressure? What if I told you that according to an insightful book, 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do by Amy Morin, the secret doesn't lie in their intelligence, knowledge, or experience, but in their mental strength? Today, I'll discuss 6 bad habits from this book that mentally strong people avoid at all costs. In the 4th point, you'll get to know an incredible story of Terry Fox, a young man who faced a life-altering adversity by losing one of his legs to cancer. Despite this, how he showcased an extraordinary display of mental strength. So let's get into it. Number 1, mentally strong people don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. Everyone faces problems, but it's how we approach and handle these problems that matters. The more we focus on the problem, the larger it seems to grow, consuming more of our time. In cases where there is no solution, it becomes crucial to shift our focus to our attitude and the way we look towards the problem. Once a troubled man, Steve visited a psychiatrist who asked him to hold a glass of water. Initially, Steve found it easy. However, as minutes turned into hours, what began as a slight unease transformed into a tremble, and eventually his hand was racked with pain, becoming numb and nearly unbearable to hold any longer. Upon pleading to put the glass down, the psychiatrist asked about the source of his pain. The man quickly attributed it to the glass of water. The psychiatrist explained that it wasn't the glass causing the agony, but the unnecessary, prolonged grip on it. In the same way, it wasn't the issues themselves inflicting suffering, but rather the relentless focus and unwillingness to let go that amplified the pain, making the problems appear more daunting than they truly were. Number 2, they don't give away their power. Mentally strong people never relinquish their power or control to anyone else. If someone mistreats them, they refrain from dwelling on it because they realize that doing so would distract them from their goals and waste their time. In contrast, what most of us tend to do is blame others when things go awry. This reaction leads us into a victim mindset, where we inadvertently hand over control of our energy to others. For example, when we're running late, unfocused at work, poor health, or struggling due to other issues, our instinct is often to justify ourselves by blaming external factors. When you ask someone who is frequently late, 99% of the time their excuse is a traffic jam. While traffic jams are a common occurrence, this repeated excuse is a manifestation of a victim mentality, a mindset they fall back on daily. There are 2 key solutions to avoid this trap. The first is to change our internal dialogue. For instance, if you're late, tell yourself it's because of your own decisions. If you're not feeling motivated to work, recognize that it's your choice to be unproductive. This shift in thinking empowers us to take responsibility for our actions. The second solution is cultivating gratitude. By focusing on what we have and expressing gratitude for it every morning, we can reclaim control over our lives. This practice of gratitude helps us shift our focus from external circumstances to internal strength, enabling us to achieve our goals. Take Oprah Winfrey as an example. She grew up in poverty and faced sexual abuse, conditions that could easily lead one to adopt a victim mentality. Most people in such situations might blame others for their hardships and seek sympathy. However, Oprah chose a different path. She took control of her power, refusing to blame others for her circumstances. Today, she stands as a successful talk show host, entrepreneur, producer, actress, and is involved in numerous socially significant projects. Her journey exemplifies the strength in taking control of one's life without succumbing to the role of a victim. Number 3, they don't shy away from change. Mentally strong people understand that stepping out of their comfort zones is key to living an extraordinary life. The world is constantly evolving, and success depends heavily on our ability to adapt to these changes. The recent pandemic is a prime example, drastically altering everything from retail and work culture to education and politics. Those who are financially secure today are often the ones who adapted well to these changes. Whether it's in education, career, business, or relationships, change is necessary for growth. However, change doesn't happen overnight. It can be broken down into 5 stages. The first stage is pre-contemplation, where people are comfortable with the status quo and avoid change. The second stage is contemplation. Here, we start thinking about change, understanding it, but not yet taking action. The third stage is preparation, where we gather the knowledge and training needed for the change. Then comes the fourth stage, action. This is where we dive into the change, putting all our energy into it. The fifth and final stage is maintenance, which can often be the most challenging part. It's one thing to initiate change, but maintaining it is a different game. For instance, consider joining a gym but not attending regularly, leaving a job to start a business but failing, or enrolling in new courses but skipping classes. These actions waste both time and money. It's not just about making changes, it's about making them last. Number 4, they don't focus on things they can't control. Mentally strong people know that obsessing over things beyond their control is a waste of time and energy, leading to a cycle of complaints and potentially more problems. They understand the importance of focusing their efforts on what they can influence. This mindset prepares them for any tough situation they might face. Terry Fox, who at the age of 18, was diagnosed with a rare type of cancer that led to the amputation of one of his legs. The doctors gave him only a 50% chance of survival. Imagine what most people would do in such a situation. But Terry Fox didn't just accept his fate. With an artificial leg, he not only ran in a marathon but used it as a platform to raise an incredible $23 million for cancer research. And that was back in 1981, when this was a substantial amount. His story is a powerful example of not dwelling on what can't be changed, but instead channeling energy into positive, impactful actions. This mindset of focusing on the controllable aspects of our lives is a hallmark of mental strength. Number 5, they don't worry about pleasing everyone. Research shows that one of the main reasons people hold back is the fear of upsetting others or worrying about what they will think. Mentally strong individuals don't focus on gaining everyone's approval because they know this can become a habit. If you're always seeking approval, you'll start feeling incomplete without others' praise. Conversely, if people compliment something mediocre, you might start believing it's excellent. This behavior, often seen on social media, gradually erodes our own opinions and leads us to act according to others' thoughts. Consider the examples of Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, and Mahatma Gandhi. If Edison had focused on pleasing others or following their opinions, the electric light bulb might never have been invented. If Ford had listened to popular opinion, he might never have revolutionized the automotive industry with his advanced engines. And if Gandhi had sought to please everyone, he might never have used nonviolence as a means to liberate his colonized country. They focused not on pleasing people at the time, but on fulfilling their own goals and visions. And number 6, they don't fear taking calculated risks. Mentally strong people understand that risks shouldn't be based solely on motivation and emotions. Instead, they approach risks logically, using a strategic set of questions to assess them. First, they consider the potential costs of taking the risk. Next, they evaluate the potential benefits. This helps in balancing the pros and cons. After this initial assessment, they ask how the risk aligns with their ultimate goals. The fourth question involves considering alternatives. If this risk isn't taken, what other options are available? Then they envision the best-case scenario if everything goes according to plan. Equally important is considering the worst-case scenario. What if things don't go as expected? The seventh question is about long-term impact. In the next 5 to 10 years, how significant will this risk be? Is it a big risk for a minor gain? By addressing all these aspects, mentally strong individuals transform a gamble into a well-considered decision. As a bonus, number 7, they don't allow mental laziness to dictate their actions and choices. They are keenly aware of the mind's cunning ability to coax us into decisions that may seem comfortable in the moment, but are detrimental to our long-term goals. They recognize the distinction between mental and physical laziness, and know strategies to manage it effectively. For an in-depth exploration of mental laziness and how to combat it, check out the detailed video on the left. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Which of these traits do you believe contributes most to mental weakness? Please like and share the video. Consider subscribing the channel, as it really helps us keep going.